There, we should be going. The technical issues should be done for now. Well, yep, there goes the pop filter. We're back, and the pop filter decided to loosen and hit my mic stand again, as it always does. But I know it's kind of a random stream, but I had free time, may as well stream a podcast, get it done now, and so I won't have to double up tomorrow. I may as well do one today, one tomorrow. So I should see a podcast tomorrow as long as nothing comes up. And I can't wait because more Comets hockey tonight. Although it's against Rochester. Yay! I get to watch the same team I have watched 800 more times in the Adirondack Bank Center play again against the Comets and have almost the same exact result, probably. I don't know. But it's likely. They kind of recovered from a small skid again last night. The Comets did from losing their first game against Syracuse on Wednesday after winning. I think it was lose one, win one in Syracuse, or it was win both. And we had them lose against Syracuse and then win. And now that was at 0.6 seconds left in overtime because I think Schmidt was going for overtime and wasn't, or not overtime, for shootout and wasn't really, he thought it was going to go off, the timer. And just barely let one through. And then you had last night go down, which they were also handing out. It's right here. They were handing out, you can't see it. I don't know why I said it's right here and picked it up. But you have green ski masks that say "Let's Go Comets" on them. Or someone I was there with called them Michael Meyer, or Jason masks, whatever. So those actually played little to no effect on the game, but it was actually just funny. It's that Big Play Slay. How you doing today? But at least tonight, hopefully it'll be a little louder. I know the Balls Out guys were loud as they always are. Balls Army always knows how to show up, and every time I show up to the Adirondack Bank Center, there's more of them. The enlistment for the Army keeps growing, apparently, because it seems like every day I see somebody different with either a Fear the Greer or a Balls Out shirt, or Balls Army shirt. Yeah, Balls Out. But they are Balls Army because a lot of them have the Balls Army on the back. I'm doing okay. Thanks, man. I'm just relaxing after a long, long week. But tonight's going to be interesting, especially since as we joke about it being called the Adirondack Bank Library, is always quiet. Now, it was a little louder last night than it was Wednesday, but when you set a bar low, it's not that hard to top it. Now it's about setting the bar high. Not going to happen, but we can only hope, right? Because UC could blow this crowd out of the water. The herd alone could blow this crowd out of the water. And they don't even show, it doesn't even feel like they show up in mass like they would like the basketball games. Come on, people. But we'll see what goes on with the crowd tonight. I guarantee with my play-by-play over on this podcast's Twitter, I will mention the crowd is probably quiet again. I'll also probably mess up who's in warm-ups because I didn't see Schnarr, and I noticed Schmelzer midway through warm-ups. I didn't notice Schnarr till the very end. I don't know if I just didn't see him or he actually wasn't out there, but I just didn't see him apparently. And then Vukovic was out. That's why I was missing because I was drawing a blank on what defenseman wasn't there. And then you had McGrath was dressed and then was scratched later in the locker room. They've done that to him before. They could have used him last night, especially against the 6'8". I think it was defenseman. It was defenseman or winger on Toronto. Douglas almost got in a fire. Actually, him and Greer dropped gloves. There was only one punch thrown, and the refs broke it up. Smart. Now, the whole crowd starts booing while the guy Greer was fighting has a track record, and he's built like Kevin Ball size. No, we're not. No, I'd be happy if Greer didn't fight him, and I was. I tweeted about it. Yeah, I when I was doing the play-by-play, I said, and Greer got in a fight, and I'm kind of happy because this guy's got a record of hurting people on fights. There was the one punch thrown by Greer was a nice shot. It didn't look super powerful from where I was because I jump around because I'm always in some different section almost every time. I was up in 203 again. I love sitting in 203R. There's no better seats for a Comets game than up high. But it was interesting. I mean, the one shot he got in, we know when someone we were with noticed that he was wiping his nose even like a minute into the penalty on the box, or a minute into his stay in the box, and it's like he must have got a good shot. So congrats to Greer on that. Fear the Greer. I mean, he put that forward in all sense of the word, and you're not going to get out of that fight 9 times out of 10 like that. But we'll see. We'll definitely see what happens tonight. Rochester's a team we've seen many times. Hopefully the guys don't overlook them. They shouldn't, especially with how they're playing recently. And another thing me and some people noticed, Zet's not skating right, and to me it didn't look like Clark was exactly skating 100%. I think he was close, but I don't think he was exactly there after I think he took a shot. And Clark, I get he took a shot during the game, but Zet just looked like he looked off. The way he was turning or the way he would kind of change direction and whatever seemed off. He seemed to favor his hip. I think it was his right side. I think we were pointing out that it was his right leg the way he was moving it. But thinking it's a hip injury and he doesn't look 100%, but those are hard to kind of gauge at times, and it sucks with hockey. I mean, some New Jersey fans we're probably glad it's not a goaltender, just because they know how bad a goaltender's hip injury can be, because they had somebody go down with it. I forget who it is. Last year, I think it was. And he didn't play the rest of the season. Then again, this is the same place where they tell you upper body injury and then put him on IR and he doesn't come. Oh, yeah, it's a minor lower body injury. He'll be day to day. Hits IR. Haven't heard a word since. Capo Caco, anybody? And, I wouldn't be surprised if Zet's a little hurt, but got to rebound, because he was not skating at times where he would normally skate hard. He was not skating at all. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm flashing over quick to the topic of UC. So the Herd has kind of been pivoted out of their spots behind the bench, and we don't know where they're going to be, because 101 through 103 in the odd is now given to the other team. So not only are they moving, certain season ticket holders in those spots are moving, and I'm going to be moving too. That's where I'd always sit, behind the bench. That's where I'm getting good clips or good videos. So looks like I won't be back in 103 till next season, but we'll see. Another season ticket I know got dropped in 204, which isn't horrible, but isn't great either. The whole situation's kind of weird, but at least season ticket holders still get first dibs on seats outside of those. But so I dropped a hype video for it, and now I did the same thing. I'll tell stories because I got a story for each one of the development for each video later, but I'll just note that now this sat dormant in unlisted because I send it around usually first and get like a gauge on it from people, because I'm like, usually I'm always looking for something that can be fixed in them, even if there really isn't much that I can really fix. Like in my UC one, I remember I placed the drone shot of Adirondack Bank right before the music kicked in, like a tiny, like a second or half a second over. And whether that was because my mark got moved, so it was off, or I just placed it wrong, I don't know, but it was off by a slight second. That bothered me, and then there was Maybe the one camera shot I had that went straight to a goal that was a little shaky could have been replaced. But other than that, everything kind of came out good in that. Um, I'm happy with how that came out, and the other one too. I haven't really talked about them just because I don't like talking about them at times. But they came out nice. I like how they came out. They look good. Feels good to watch them. I know that there was the drop in up tempo music from one to another, but that had its reason, and that one just sounded right with the UC. And next week, I'm gonna have one more opportunity to get some clips in the odd before we go to potentially Lake Placid. I know people who are probably going anyway, so even if we don't make it, I'm probably gonna end up trying to find my way up there. But let's see. I don't even know if anything's happened with that yet. I haven't even kept up to date with the NCAA D3 tournament. I should. I really should, because I know of some games were today, but I don't remember what time, and I'm just making sure right now. Because all I know is I know UC's time right now next Saturday. To be determined. That's all I know. That's college basketball. I just looked up NCAA D3. Didn't add hockey to it. I'm a genius, apparently. Oh, look, first picture that comes up, UC or UU, whatever you want to call it. Yup. No, I'm not gonna make that joke. Although that's gonna be played a lot more now that Utica's going to university. No, I will not allow myself to make that joke. It'd be nice if there was just a centralized location where I knew where I could find the bracket right now. Yeah. There we go. Finally got the bracket. And now it's going to look. I say this every podcast I do, live or not. I'm not prepared, apparently. But we'll get there. We'll get there. This is going to be a pain now, isn't it? Yep, it ain't bringing it up. Okay, there we go. Finally. So, Elmira is playing Hobart tonight at... Hold on, I need to check what time it is. 7. Then you've got St. Norbert playing St. Olaf at 7 also tonight. Babson and Trinity, Connecticut also play at 7, and so does New England and Plymouth State. Utica fans are probably going to have their eye on New England, Plymouth State, because that's whoever wins, that's playing us. Then again, certain fans may also keep an eye on the other game, the Trinity, Connecticut Babson game, because whoever wins, that's playing Geneseo. And the winners of the Geneseo game and the Utica game go on to play each other. So that could be something to keep an eye on. Who knows? Anything can happen in hockey. We'll see. But no, I clicked on it and it didn't. If I clicked on the game and it's not telling me anything. All right, yeah, it's not gonna tell me anything on the game because I haven't done my research on either of these teams, so it's not me. But I will eventually. And then also waiting in nearby spots on the other side are Adrian and Augsburg. Now, all those games are the next Saturday. Those are the last games in any stadium or in any place that's not Lake Placid. Then you see your jump to Lake Placid, and you see your semifinal games played with the finals games in Placid. So that'll be interesting because either way, this is going to be Utica's last game in the odd for the season. So and it'll be their last game. That'll be their last season as UC/UU before we were fully UU. I don't like that. I like being UC. I like that the anthem staying though. The anthem thing with the UC, that's great. That'll never give me goosebumps, or that'll never not give me goosebumps. But there is that. I haven't really talked about the bracket. I wanted to, and then I just didn't. So I guess I'm talking about it here and now, so I don't have to make a video about it. But whatever. I was gonna say, now I'm getting my notifications like to blow up at random times, so I had to take a moment. But so New York Rangers, they play tonight. Notice earlier I was making the joke about how Kako was out for day to day and then just hit the IR, but last game they played, not great at all. They really didn't show up. Shesterkin had an okay game at best, and Gallant couldn't have said it better. And now I'm paraphrasing because I don't have the exact quote, but he basically said, Igor's been there for you guys all season, and the one time he struggles a little, you guys don't step up to help him. Now, in long term, he looks to keep the defensive lines the same, but short term he'll change them around. I think that's what he was saying. It was that or the opposite, but I think that's what it was. So you could see a small shift here and there in the future, because the first two lines have always stayed somewhat consistent. It's that third line you've seen jumps, with Schneider coming up and before Schneider and et cetera, trying to find that third D line or a third defensive line group that will work. I say defensive line and my mind immediately goes to NFL, which is why I had to say that twice, just to kind of clarify in my head. But tonight they look to hit the Stars and knock them down and win, because the Stars team's a bubble team and they're going to fight tooth and nail to win this. So the Rangers better step up tonight, knock them down, recover from this 2-game skid they're on, and prove that last game was a mistake. But another shred of news: Adam Fox, the Rangers D-man, is the third defenseman in history of the franchise to hit, what was it, 50 goals? Or no, 40? Here, let me pull it up so I don't say the wrong number. Because I guarantee you I'm going to say the wrong number. And then everyone's going to tell me it was a number, or another number. And this is going to be a pain. There we go. I got it. So, Adam Fox. Now, I joke that I'm never prepared, but I was really never prepared. Adam Fox is the third defenseman in Rangers history to record 50 assists. It was assists, that's what it was. In 55 or fewer games in franchise history. He is the first one since Leach, and he joins the group of Leach, who had 47 games, who did it in 47 games, and Zubov, who did it in 49. So, yeah. Oh, that was in a season. I was gonna say it confused me because they gave the year 91-92 for the quickest Leach did it, but one they had sent out earlier, which I had seen, was he had 2 assists, giving him 50 on the season, and he was the first since Leach with 50 in 2001. That confused me. That's why I had that look on my face, and you can't see it, of like, it's not what I remember. Also, Rangers have 16 power play goals in the last 20 games and have scored a point per game, or a power play goal in 3 of their last 5 games. And also, Shesterkin got his first career point on an assist in the last game, which was great because Shesterkin, I like to see him get that. Also, I mean, Booch wasn't even healthy for that game, so great. It was great. Also, this starts. Oh no, this is the end of a 4-game road trip for the Rangers, playing Dallas in Dallas, and this is the first time we've been in Dallas since March 10th of 2020. Also, Trouba has 4 recorded assist points in his last 7 games against Dallas and 6 assist points in his last 10 versus the Stars. He has 13 overall versus the Stars. So, Trouba, continue what you've been doing against them and go off tonight because we really need it. I'm excited to see what he can do because I really want Trouba to do something. We'll see what happens tonight because I'm really anxious about that, but I'm also anxious about the Comets, and it'll be interesting. I don't know. There's not. If there was UC hockey, I'd have more to yell about. I am going to go back to my rant about the Adirondack Bank Library real quick because. Also, if you want to hear more complaining or more ranting about this, someone who can do it way better than I do and way funnier. I don't know when they're doing it this week, but Marty's Legal Stick podcast coming up in the next couple days. I know Dom's gonna complain, or I know Dom's gonna flip out over it, and I don't know how Jeremy's gonna do, but they will. They'll definitely talk about it over there too. But go over there to see that. With some people who are way funnier than I am when they complain about this. I don't get as loud. I'm so I tone my energy down enough so I'm not jumping all over the place and yelling and jumping from 100 topics to one topic to another through 100, and I'm not talking super fast like I occasionally will do. Which, if I ever talk too fast in videos, I never really know this. Just tell me. Just tell me. Because sometimes I don't realize I'm talking fast until I actually think about it. But so we need to get louder in there. We need to get louder in there. If there's anybody that goes to the games, even a couple times a year, if you're watching and you go to the games,
I don't like the bubble.
he feels the need to pop in every podcast, I guess, but he's got the bubble. He had to switch over to the bubble for Bar League or something, and he doesn't like it. I don't necessarily like the bubble either, but it's better than some colored visors. Whatever. Back to the topic at hand. If you go to the games and you're not loud, get louder because that play. There's been stories. I remember somebody came out and told the story. It was one of the former goalies. I don't remember his name off the top of my head. I really should. One who's up with Vancouver right now was talking about how there was one game he almost got mugged at, I want to say, or something. And then
Almost stuck.
Again, he sounds like Bane a little bit when he does that. And there was a story of there was somebody right behind him, or there was a story of a guy in the crowd who had a prosthetic leg. Now, I think it was when they scored, he would put beer in it and drink out of it. Can we get that crazy now? And there's probably some crazy stories from the odd. Let's channel that. Let's channel our inner crazy or something, or inner hockey fans start going berserk, or at least loud. Because there's times where that game, there was one. It was between a stoppage of game. There was a stoppage of game. The puck was about to be dropped. It was so silent. I could have yelled, and everybody probably would have looked up at me because I was the only one that would have yelled. Hockey's not supposed to be that quiet. It can happen once or twice, but it was no, it was straight dead quiet. Like you could hear what was going on in the halls below from row R, in 200 or in 203. If it's that bad, it's very bad. But whatever. I'm not going to complain about it any longer because the more I complain about the Adirondack Bank Library, the more annoyed I become and the louder I'm going to get and the faster I'm going to talk. But I don't know. I'll talk about it at the actual rink because I know if I run into Dom, he'll bring it up. So, anyways, I'll see you guys later. Getting ready to watch more hockey and record more video for videos, and some of it you'll actually see when I do my review of this game. And I'm out. Peace.